Me? How am I doing? I'm just behaving myself on this set. Huh? Being studious.
Okay, we will go ahead and call our meeting to order. We want to welcome everybody here this evening. At this time, Melissa, our city clerk, will take roll call.
Vice Mayor Doan,
Present.
Commissioner Swindell,
Here.
Commissioner York,
Here.
Commissioner Maples, here, Mayor Van Oster.
Here. Okay, we will now have our invocation, and this evening we have Pastor Kevin O'Connor from the Agape Fellowship Church here with us. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Gracious God, we come before you this evening and we ask that you would help us in our endeavors to make decisions for this city. I pray that you would pour out your blessing upon those who are leading our city and making decisions for us. Lord, we pray that you would give them grace, wisdom, and understanding in this effort. Lord, we ask that you would be here tonight and sanction everything that is done. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
We'll now have review of our agenda. Is there anything to change or add anybody can see on there? Not.
Yep.
We will move on to our consent agenda, which consists of 3 items. The first one is our city commission meeting minutes for Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. Our second is the second reading of Ordinance S-22-01, which is an ordinance ordering the vacation of easements within Jones Place Addition, Block 2, Lot 21, 820 East 11th Street. And the third item is the 2022 appropriation ordinance number AO-22-06 in the amount of $5,385,437.11. Commissioner York, you have some things to go over on our warrant register?
It's a rather large number this meeting, so I've just tried to kind of highlight more of the really big ticket items. So we had the Annexer Incorporated for $15,190. A lot of that was LED floodlights. I'm assuming those are street lights. Is that correct, Mike? Yeah. Ashburn Tree Experts, $16,899. That's for tree trimming along our power lines. BG Consultants, $3,664. Trans Alternate Grant Design. Border States Electric Supply for $8,514. That's for a 9 kilovolt arrestor times 192 of them. Brainerd Chemical Company, $5,620. Coffeyville Regional Medical Center for their sales tax distribution, $85,213. Zurich Incorporated, $5,029. Fleet Fuels, $8,806, and then Fleet Services, $4,372, which is a really good indicator of how much fuel costs have gone up. Grand River Dam Authority, $3,152,240. Hall Levy, DeVore and Bell, $3,826 for our legal counsel. Harold's LLC, $5,520. This was herbicides. Hawkins Incorporated for our water treatment chemicals, $4,316. ISG Technology, $8,200. That was for licensing for Microsoft. Jeff Graham Construction, Highland Road Construction payment for $43,834. Kansas Department of Revenue for city tax, $49,391. Kansas Lumber, $4,508 for the first floor project. Lochner. This is a project out at the airport, $3,688. Neil Hotels for their CID, $3,973. Republic Services, so $35,000 for residential, and then $1,876 for the city's trash. Southwest Power Pool, $653,304. Southwestern Power Administration, $12,006. Trans Systems Corporation, this is for a 8/4 Klein design, $4,522. Tyler Technologies, $19,627. UMB Bank, the credit card, $20,574. USD 445, $738,942. That's the sales tax distribution to them. Utilities Financial Solutions, $6,372. And then our payroll for $376,488.
Okay. And those are just the highlights.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else on the consent agenda they want to say? Okay, if not, I will move to approve items 1 through 3 of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner York to approve items 1 through 3 of the consent agenda as presented. Commissioner Swindell?
Aye.
Commissioner York?
Aye.
Commissioner Maples?
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan?
Aye.
Okay. Item number 4 under the consent agenda is the 2022 appropriation ordinance number AO-26-06A for Isham's and Liebert Brothers in the amount of $452.84.
Mayor, if there are no questions, I'll move to approve item 4 of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Commissioner York, seconded by Commissioner Maples to approve item 4 of the consent agenda as presented. Commissioner York?
Aye.
Commissioner Maples?
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster?
Abstain.
Vice Mayor Doan?
Aye.
Commissioner Swindell?
Aye.
Okay. Next item, we move on to comments. This is comments from the public. Any citizen desiring to address the commission shall be recognized. Please advance to the podium, state his or her name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes unless extended by a vote of the majority of the commission. The commission does not hear matters involving litigation or city personnel. The commission does not take action on subjects not on the agenda unless unusual or hardship conditions exist. Citizens may address the commission on agenda items as they are brought to the floor. So is there anybody here this evening? Okay, if not, we will move on to our regular agenda items. We have public hearings, special presentations, and proclamations next, and we have none this evening. We have no old business to go over this evening, so we will move on to new business. Our first item is Resolution R-22-18, which is a resolution to implement a Personnel Manual Memorandum of Agreement with the International Association of Firefighters, Local 265, effective January 1, 2022 through December 31st, 2022. Our Director of Human Resources, Ms. Allison Pryor, will make comments.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The city has completed negotiations with the International Association of Firefighters, Local Number 265, and this agreement does cover the period from January 1st, 2022 through December 31st. Red lines of the negotiated changes to the contract were attached to your staff report, and then negotiations for 2023 agreement will be scheduled for later in the year. If you have any questions about those changes, I'd be happy to try to answer those for you.
I don't really have any questions. I just wanted to say thank you guys for all your hard work and thank the fire union as well for their hard work in getting this done. So,
That's right. Okay, any other questions, comments? Okay, if none, I will move to approve Resolution R-22-18 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Vice Mayor Doan to approve Resolution R-22-18 as presented. Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Allison.
Thank you.
It's you again next. Our next item is Resolution R-22-19, which is a resolution to authorize the execution of an agreement for specific and aggregate stop-loss insurance, dental, basic life, accidental death and dismemberment insurance, and third-party administration services for the city's fiscal year 2023 partially self-funded health insurance coverage. Our Director of Human Resources, Allison Pryor, will make comments.
Mayor and Commissioners, the City of Coffeyville Health Insurance Plan, as you're aware, is a self-funded plan. The plan is funded by deposits made into the city's risk management fund by the city in an amount negotiated with the city's bargaining units, as well as the monthly premiums paid by each participating employee. During plan years where claim expenditures are less than the city and the employees' contributions together, the plan gets to retain those extra funds and carry that amount forward into the next plan year to offset cost increases. The fixed costs for purchase of stop-loss coverage and administrative fees are the only opportunity to pursue competitive pricing for these services. The claims paid by the plan reflect the employee's actual medical claim costs and represent the largest portion of those plan costs. Within a fully funded plan, the insurance carrier collects all of the premiums, and if the plan has a good year, the insurance carrier benefits from those remaining dollars. Benefit Health Advisors quoted our insurance plan with multiple stop-loss carriers as well as fully funded options. The lowest cost option, as shown on the healthcare insurance analysis spreadsheet attached, was from Western Skies. By timely binding of this particular coverage, we were able to lock in savings of $300,000 versus the other carriers that were quoted. The plan design for the upcoming year will continue to be through the Aetna network with no changes to employees' deductibles or coinsurance. We will continue the dental plan with Delta Dental as a self-insured plan. This year, the coverage does include a plan design change relating to prescription coverage. Currently, employees pay prescriptions on a tiered basis, $20, $40, and $85. The out-of-pocket expense for these tiers has been changed to $25, $50, and $100. This change is estimated to save our plan $40,000 over the course of this plan year. Moving forward, the plan will pay a maximum of 12 months specialty drug coverage per covered person. Once that maximum time period has been reached, the plan would not pay any additional specialty drugs. By offering a run out on specialty drugs rather than immediately stopping coverage, it offers current and future specialty drug users the opportunity to seek other coverage that best suits their health needs. This change results in cost savings of $45,000 for this particular plan year. Staff has evaluated options for increases to employee plan costs, keeping in mind plan affordability for our lower paid positions. We reviewed options of increasing single coverage by $10, $15, and $20, and family coverage by $30, $45, and $60. In light of the current economy, staff is recommending approval of this proposal to increase single coverage by $15 per month, or $6.93 per paycheck, and family coverage by $45 per month, or $20.77 per paycheck. This proposal results in an unfunded amount of $247,550 for the upcoming plan year. The City of Coffeyville Health Insurance policy covers city employees, city retirees if they choose, and COBRA eligible employees or dependents if they choose. The retirees and COBRA eligible pay 100% of the premiums for those participating in the city's plan. If you have any questions about this item, I'd be happy to try to answer those.
Mayor and Commissioners, I might add this, and I know you have questions. It is one of those, due to the claims and the amount that we had in this past year, we would like to have the commissioners in going forward, because this was, I want to say, a perfect storm year. It is one of those that our experience model will be effective about this going forward. So what I'd like to ask the commission is that during the course of this next year, that we set up 2 representatives from the commission. Of course, we'll have representatives from the union. And it is one of those that we will try to arrange this every quarter. That way we keep up current things. It is one of those with healthcare insurance, is that you never know when somebody's going to get sick. So you could have a quarter that suddenly turn everything upside down. But we think if we go with this and your participation, it'd be more understanding. The past years, there hasn't been this problem, so it's been kind of basically goes through the best selection and then presented to the commission. We will have to look at options and more options as we go. We'll have to lean forward and try to see the storm before it comes. So I would suggest that if you can get amongst yourselves and, just select, and we'll do this is 3 months from April 1st is we'll get together and have not only union present, but then city staff and then, 1 or 2 commissioners. So that's just a suggestion that I might have. It might clear up things as we go along and more. This was just, the perfect storm came real quick, and it was trying to get our way through it and get employees where they wouldn't be as affected as what we first saw. So just a suggestion, and if there's any questions, go ahead and ask those.
What was the year-over-year increase?
The unfunded balance or the year over year?
So we're paying more in premiums off of this policy than we did prior year, correct?
We are.
Yeah. Do you know what that dollar amount is?
Thank you.
To what? I'm sorry.
225,000.
Okay. That's a chunk.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's a great situation. I think we worked hard to find the best solution. Moving forward in this next year, I want to look at as many options as we possibly can.
Absolutely.
I don't, I want us to be able to look out for ourselves and not rely on other people. So hopefully in the next year, we can get the ball rolling on that.
Allison, just out of curiosity, how long do we allow Cobra?
Cobra can be allowed typically for up to 18 months.
That's what-
Because of COVID, there have been some extenuating circumstances, and the way certain federal legislation is written, it does allow certain extension periods for specific groups of employees
Okay.
or ex-employees.
Yes. So here again, I know there's been a ton of work going into this, and you guys have looked at every which way possible, and that's greatly appreciated.
Yes. I know it's it's an increase, I know. Better than what I think was put out there maybe, or suspected might happen.
Yes.
To begin with. And it's a difficult situation to be in. You want to offer your employees the best that you can for them. And at the same time, we have to look at that dollar at the city. So there's both sides.
Right.
It's a tough thing to do. I don't have any other questions at this time. I think you laid it all out well on what is going to have to happen. And then if you said we can get together and whoever wants to be that and review and see what else there might be, and
I think
there may not
that is,
I think it's a good plan, yeah.
like say, the previous years have all been pretty consistent and flat. But this was the perfect storm, and you're gonna have a 3-year rolling year.
Right.
On our experience model and our claims. And so, we're just gonna have to rethink that structure. And it is the majority of municipal government, it does have self-insured with a stop loss. But we've seen those over the past years that full coverage has come into play. It's just that the cost of healthcare, the claims and these things is surpassed what self-insured with a stop loss was intended to do. And then you get into, this is a flat fee per employee, and if the claims aren't there, then the insurance company keeps those dollars. The only thing is, the sad thing is, once you're on that train, is if you have where your claims exceed what they said, they'll recoup that in the next year by raising the rate.
Raising the rates. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a darned if you do, darned if you don't. And
And I think even if we didn't have claims so much, we still would see the rates rise, because that's what's
That's the
become,
trend, yeah.
that's what's become the norm in the industry now, especially the last, to me, 5 years or a little over. Not just where you get time for your renewal and maybe a single plan might go up 30,
Yeah.
50 months, 50 a month or something like that, or whatever, or a year or something. That's not what's happening. It's
But
much
as we
over
go
that.
forward, we'll arrange those dates, and then I
Okay.
think, like, say, leaving it to the commission, as representatives, be
Okay.
it one, be it two, that would sit and, of course, inform the others. What took place in the healthcare insurance meeting. And, of course, like I said, we want the unions, which last, we had a representative, which was their ranking member, is present. It is trying to do with the amount of work and decision and discussion that went into that, is we were wanting to get where it is not a larger group, that basically it had become a very large group, and it was, we needed to be productive, and they were fully understanding, and it was, they were, nobody's pleased that you have an increase, but they were very understanding that the city's in this to take care of employees, and it is one of those, the city's got to do things, we got to tighten our belt to continue this.
Healthcare is also a major retention tool for employees.
Yes, sir.
as well,
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes,
You bet.
that is true. That is true. Okay.
Mayor, if there are no further questions, I'll move to approve Resolution R 2219 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner York, seconded by Mayor Van Oster to approve Resolution R-22-19 as presented. Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Thank you,
Allison, thank you.
Allison, for all your work on that, very much.
And Mark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody that was involved in
And
that.
Stephanie. Yeah, yeah.
That whole back row.
Not Mike, I'm not saying. Yeah, yeah.
No, we don't acknowledge him for anything. Okay, we will now move on. We have Resolution R-22-20, which is a resolution authorizing the purchase of a Jacobson GP 400 greens mower for Hillcrest Golf Course. Our Director of Golf Course Operations, Scott Lazenby, will make comments.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Commissioners.
Good evening.
Hillcrest is requesting the purchase of the GP 400 greens mower to replace our outdated Toro greens mower 3000, which is equipment number 582. This Toro mower has over 5,800 hours on it, and the parts are becoming obsolete for this model, if not discontinued. We did more research on the mower itself. When it was produced was 1968. The brand new,
Yeah.
it's got its use in. The brand new one, if ordered brand new, on the GP 400 would be $47,800. That's brand new. It'd take a year before expected delivery. It was put in the budget last year for $30,000 to replace the Toro mower as used equipment, either off lease or demo. We located this unit for $12,500. If you have any other questions, I'll try to answer them the best that I can.
What are the plans for the Toro? Are we gonna try and resell it, or is it?
We tried.
Mhm.
Basically, we're just gonna have to contact golf courses and other areas and see if we can't part it out. The reels alone, they can interchange with other Toro mowers.
Have we tried Purple Wave or any of those type of sites?
We have not yet,
Okay.
but we will.
Right. And where's this Jacobson at?
What's that?
Lenexa? It's up-
Lenexa.
It's up in Lenexa, the Jacobson?
Mhm.
And what kind of delivery time on it?
We could probably get it within the week.
Okay. It's better
Okay.
than waiting a year.
Better wait and see.
Yeah, especially with the growing season starting.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
And
And
you're
it-
comfortable with the service hours on that? You think
Yeah.
it's?
That's what I
It's
was gonna ask.
2,300
Mhm.
and 51, I think it's
51, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2,351 hours on it.
What do you normally get out of one of those hours was?
We're getting the other two G-plexes that we have over 4,800,
Okay.
but because of our servicing that we do,
Mhm.
I'm thinking we can probably double that.
So they still have plenty of service left in it?
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, if not, I'll move to approve Resolution R-22-20 as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner York to approve Resolution R-22-20 as presented. Vice Mayor Down.
Aye.
Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster.
Aye. Thank you, Scott,
Thank you.
for your work on that. Okay, we will move on now to Resolution R-22-21, which is a resolution authorizing purchase of structural firefighting protective gear for the Coffeyville Fire Department. Our Fire Chief, Kenny Ward, will make comments.
Thank you, Mayor, Commission. Before you is a resolution to purchase 19 sets of bunker gear. That's pants and coat. This will be the first large replacement of some gear that was bought in 10 of 13. The actual, what we call the shelf life of that gear is maximum of 10 years by NFPA standard, or if the service life ends before then. So it's whatever service life is. And we've gotten much more service life out of these than so they won't meet the 10 years, and thanks to Mr. Hall and Ms. Richardson for finding the money to get these purchased. It'll get each person in a new set. That set will move to their secondary set, so if they have to, get a house fire, come back, their gear's wet, soaking wet, it's supposed to be washed after every structure fire. While that's washing and drying, they have another set to put on. Now, part of the plan that was presented to Mr. Hall was for next year to purchase 8 sets, and that will entirely get the 1013s out of a primary and secondary sets. So, and then part of that plan with Mr. Hall was to purchase 3 sets per year. After that, because we've bought some sets in recent years, and we can slowly get sets purchased out. It takes a plan and being aware of the plan and making sure that it happens. So.
Well, I like the fact that we're gonna do a rotation on
Yes.
those. I mean,
Yes, sir.
It beats having to do these lump sums like that, so.
Well, unfortunately, there's a funding source, and I wouldn't, as Mr. Hall and I talked, I wouldn't want to pass this on to another fire chief 10 years down the road,
Right.
and a city administrator who has to try to find that kind of money, because it won't be cheaper.
No.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So,
That's true.
I remember in 13, the gear was purchased with a grant, is that correct?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So going forward, are you looking for grants to help out?
We're seeking all the grants. We're fixing to put in a grant. We put in a grant for extrication tools that are 20-plus years old. Hopefully, we'll get that. We'll also be putting in a grant to purchase the rest of the wildland gear through the USDA. So we're seeking as many grant funding opportunities as we can
Okay.
to help offset the capital that we,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
so.
More specifically, though, for the bunker gear going forward,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, if somebody's willing to give money, we'll just,
You betcha.
we'll take it.
Sounds good.
And the good money is the total giveaway.
Right.
The matching is good too, but I'd
All
rather have.
all of it helps.
All of it helps, yes, sir.
That's correct. That is right. Okay.
Mayor, if there are no further questions, I'll move to approve Resolution R 2221 as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Commissioner York, seconded by Mayor Van Oster to approve Resolution R-22-21 as presented. Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
We will now move on to Resolution R-22-22, which is a resolution authorizing the purchase of thermal imaging cameras for the Coffeeville Fire Department. Once again, our Fire Chief, Mr. Kenny Ward, will make comments.
Mayor and Commission, thank you for the previous vote. What's in front of you is a resolution to buy 5 of these thermal imagers. And can I step forward?
Sure.
A little bit? This is a handheld thermal imager. What we you just want to pass it down there. What'll happen is the guys can attach that to their bunker gear or their SCBA. So anytime they go in, we'll be purchasing 5 of them, so that generally we're fully manned at 6, but our captain, who's an incident commander, doesn't need to have a personal thermal imager. But if we are fully manned, we'll use all 5 people. But this actually gives each one of them a device to be able to see where they're going. If there's a citizen that needs to be rescued, as you can't tell there. If I could educate you a little bit, it'll show you where a body's at. Sure. And what we currently have, and we're very thankful for that, is we have a big handheld one. What these will allow the guys to do is have both hands free to pull hose, any tools that they need to go in. If they get to a point where they need to see where the seat of the fire is, they can just hold up that deal and look in there out of their face piece and see what's going on. So to me, it's a safety issue, and we can get each one of the guys with one of those on their bunker gear.
Are you still going to retain your current thermal imager?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That'll be used for our overhaul portion, because it has a little bit bigger screen. It has a little bit more detail in what you're seeing. So that will be used in overhaul. This would be used actually as first in firefighting tool. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And budget item-wise, this is coming out of which budget?
The funding would qualify for the ARPA fund.
Okay.
Okay. Great. Okay, any other questions?
I just, Mr. Hall and Ms. Richardson, I appreciate them listening and finding the money. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank
On
you,
behalf of the
Chief.
Yes.
department.
You gonna say? Go ahead. You don't want to? Okay. All right. If there are no further questions, I will move to approve Resolution R-22-22 as presented. That's right.
Second.
Jason?
Motion is made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner Swindell to approve Resolution R-22-22 as presented. Commissioner York.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, the next resolution is Resolution R-22-23, which is a resolution to establish solid waste collection and disposal rates for customers that are subject to the provisions of the City of Coffeyville Ordinance G-04-02. Our Director of Finance, Stephanie Richardson, will make comments.
Mayor and Commissioners. As you remember, on January 25th of 2022, Mr. Bradshaw brought before the commission a proposal to sign a contract with Republic Services for our trash service for the next 3 years. That contract would officially end March 31st of 2025. That contract included approximately 2.3% rate increase in 2022 and a 4% rate increase for each year after in 2023 and 2024. What I'm bringing before you this evening is the resolution that's required to pass that cost increase on to the citizens that are paying the trash service. In order to do that, just so you know, we use that the markup that we make on these the trash service is what is used to do the cleanup in town, such as the weed lot mowings, the demolition of the houses, any nuisance cleanups, our fall cleanup that we do every year, those items that, show up on the agenda or paying for those services. So that's what the markup on these contract amounts are for. Passing along that rate increase would change our rates from a regular rate that is currently $13.82. Effective April 1st of 2022, that would increase to $14.14, which is a 32-cent increase. On 2023, it would move to $14.71, which is a 57-cent increase. And in 2024, that would move to $15.30, which is a 59-cent increase. The senior rates would follow along with that. They are discounted $1 from the residential regular rates. And then additional polycarts, they did not quote an increase for this next year, so it would remain the same at $7.51. In April 1 of 2023, that would go to $7.81, which is a 30-cent increase. And April 1 of 2024 would increase to $8.13, so a 32-cent increase. If you have any questions regarding this resolution, I'd be glad to try to answer those for you. We do try to budget around $200,000 every year to pay for those cleanup costs and expenses that we have, and like Commissioner York says, those are sometimes expenses that the city wouldn't necessarily have to have,
Right?
but we do have those.
We
So
have, that's right, unfortunately.
we do like to
Yes,
remind
yeah.
everyone, they do have the bulky that's already built into their trash rates to use each month
Mm-hmm,
to help in getting rid of those things that they need to get rid of.
Absolutely.
right, right. And I appreciate the reminder that you put out every week for the week ahead about what day your bulky trash is, to remind people. Because I know, especially if you're somebody that just, you don't have a lot of bulky trash and you forget what day it is, but that is a good thing. A lot of people utilize that, and I wish a lot more did, so that would help. So, anyway, all right. Any further questions?
I will move to approve Resolution R-22-23 as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Vice Mayor Doan, seconded by Commissioner Maples to approve Resolution R-22-23 as presented. Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Okay. We will now move on to Ordinance S-22-02, which is an ordinance of the City of Coffeyville, Kansas, authorizing the levy of a 0.5% citywide retailer's sales tax and related matters. Once again, our Director of Finance, Stephanie Richardson, will make comments.
Mayor and Commissioners, the purpose of this ordinance is to authorize the levy of the half-cent sales tax that was approved by the voters at the November 2nd, 2021 election. And just to remind everyone, that was the election that we put forth the question regarding the housing and economic development, 40% of a half cent. There was development improvement of public parks and related community improvements at 40%, and then improvements of economic development related to our downtown area at 20%. A majority of the qualified electors of the city voted in favor of that sales tax. And I was contacted by our bond counsel, reminding us that we need to go ahead and pass this ordinance in order to create that levy for the tax. So that's what this step of the process is. It will require 2 readings, so you'll see a second reading at the next commission meeting. It will need to be published in the Coffeeville Journal. And once that is done, then staff can load those documents onto the Kansas Department of Revenue's website. And then they take it from there in creating those records in their software system in order to start levying that tax and collecting it. Again, it won't be a change in tax rate for those businesses that are in town or that deal with the city of Coffeyville. It will remain at 9.5%. This just changes it through the state as to what it's being levied for. So.
Okay.
And that takes effect in October 20.
October 1st of 2022.
22.
Yeah.
And it runs for 10 years.
Yeah.
We will start receiving collections from that. We run 2 months behind. So
Okay.
in December.
So December,
start
we'll start
receiving.
receiving those. Okay.
And thank you to the voters for passing.
Yes.
it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely grateful to that, and excited to see that when we can show those dollars put to work for what they're intended for and what we wanted them, what we promised our voters that we would do.
Absolutely.
That's right. Okay, any further questions? Okay, if not, I will move to approve Resolution S-22-02 as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner York to approve Ordinance S-22-02 as presented. Mayor Van Oster.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Doan.
Aye.
Commissioner Swindell.
Aye.
Commissioner York.
Aye.
Commissioner Maples.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie.
you.
Very much. Okay, we will now move on to our city manager's report.
Mayor, Commissioners, like to thank all the departments. We are preparing for a new season. Hopefully it doesn't snow on another Thursday, and we continue on, but staff in all departments is started moving towards preventative maintenance to get that in line, so our maintenance throughout the summer is far less. But I'd like to thank all the staff for what they're doing. Our progress is going forward. Our housing department is, of course, taking applications to start that first round. It will be one of those, is as that program goes on, the cycles will come more in a 6-month cycle for each round. It's just the startup and then building the homes and getting the accounts started. So we're all excited about that. Progress downstairs continues forward. We'll get that done. And I want to say that We had a meeting with GRDA today, and it is, of course, during that meeting, they always talk very highly of Coffeyville and how the operation is run. And in fact, we noticed there's pictures. So Mike didn't get to go with us today, and we hate him for that. So it is one of those that, not going to forgive him, but it is one of those. Coffeeville is well respected throughout the area, and of course, clients of GRDA. The other thing I would like to remind commissioners, and it's been, they're talking about it on the radio, it's been on the newspaper, and of course our channels, is the State of the City address, which will be next Tuesday, the 29th. It will be at 6 o'clock. It will be one of those that we do have a limited seating available. We will set up a screen in the lobby for those that wish to attend, but we are making that available through two types of media, so they can watch the State of the City from at home. It is one of those that it'll be a little different this year, going through and not knowing which way COVID would lead us. We thought this would be good to do it this way, and going next year we'll probably get back into at the community college. But everything's going along. You will get copies. You will have a voiceover. They will see anything from Visio presentations to slide presentation, and of course your narration of what they're seeing on TV. So I do have the radio station that would like to come over and it takes pictures of you, so that way people know that there was who the voices were. So that was on the radio show this morning. So excited about that, and just want to thank all the departments for what they do, and they're all very important, and they are working hard to make Coffeeville the city of choice. So I'll answer any questions if you have any.
Nope, just good job.
You guys have had a really busy few weeks here, and just want to say thank you for all your hard work. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we will now move on to comments from commissioners and staff. Who wants?
Mayor, I just got a few, but
Go ahead.
So, just want to let everybody know. So, if you look at the college and at the downtown area, the bike share bikes are back out and available for rent. So, I encourage people to take advantage of that. It's a great program. I want to thank Candy for coming tonight. So, the chamber is represented here. So, thank you, Candy, for coming to our meeting. For those of you that are familiar with the college's rodeo program, there was a young man that went through named Jake Long. Jake is a team roper, and him and his partner actually won the Houston rodeo this last week, so which is a pretty huge rodeo. So congratulations to Jake and his partner on that. I did get to meet our new construction supervisor the other day. Yeah, wonderful kid. Look forward to seeing what he's able to produce. So, and then I had the privilege of, so through the Historical Society, we had some items that were down at the Brown Mansion that needed to be moved, and so Jake Martin, the coach of the baseball team over at the college, volunteered some of his kids to come and help us. Well, so we show up at the Brown Mansion, and there's 40 kids there to help move, and you know how quick you can move things with 40 kids? And this stuff was flying, but I wanted to say thank you to them for their help, and what a great bunch of kids. If you get an opportunity to go out and watch them play ball, please do. They're a good bunch of kids, and we're glad to have them here. So.
And on off weekends, they can watch you mow all day.
They can. Yeah.
All right.
I think that's all I had.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have anything? No? Okay. I have just a couple of things. Last week, I had some inquiries, and then it was kind of funny. I had some inquiries, and then Mike Shook brought me up to speed on what the electric department is doing out by the hospital.
Yeah.
and they are removing all the old wooden light poles, and they are making the service to the poles underground, so they're doing that, and then those will have LED lights on them. So that will go very good in with what the hospital has already done, which is a conversion to LED along the sides of their parking lot and the front area parking and the 4th Street side. So I think that will brighten up that a lot, make it safe. There are, this time of year, people starting out to walk and walk longer, and I know this will help make them feel safer, and it will just it'll add to the aesthetics of the hospital and how it looks. So thank you for that also. And then I have had several people comment on the North Overlook Bridge that was done last fall and how wonderful it is to drive over it. And it's nice and wide. You don't have to stop on one end and let one car through. And so a thank you to those that were involved with that, with the contractor and so forth, and it does look very, very good. So anyway, that's all I've got. So anything else?
Mayor,
Okay.
I did want to call out real quick, and the sales tax revenue report.
That's just what he was
Go
gonna
ahead,
say.
Justin, if you want to- If you want to do it, do it. Yes,
Stephanie,
please.
come tell us
Yes.
about it.
Yes. So it's good news.
Well, I have it
right?
printed.
Yeah.
I get excited when I see that chart.
I knew that was the
Absolutely.
first person I thought of
Yeah.
when I saw that. I thought, Justin's going to be having Stephanie come up.
Our last month's sales tax report, we were up a total of 13.74% over the previous month. So that is excellent that we're seeing collections that way. If you look at just the sales tax piece, it was up 8.49%, and comp use tax was up 42.62%. So we're seeing a lot more, even small collections from the internet collections and things like that that are coming in. So sales that people are making that are outside of the state, we're bringing in those sales
Yes.
tax dollars now through comp use tax. So
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
very positive.
Last year
good.
was a record year, correct?
Last year was our record year.
And we're outpacing it so far this year.
Absolutely,
For the
yes.
comp. Yes. Yeah. I think people forget, even though if you may purchase something and it's not local, your sales tax rules point of destination, so we'll get those funds. We are lucky enough to get the sales tax funds, but shopping local is a win-win for
Absolutely.
everybody.
Wins, yeah.
Everybody wins. Yes, that's right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
No. She says it's so much better than we can.
Well,
Candy, you got that?
Well, better than.
wait a minute.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Candy had something.
Oh, Candy?
Yep.
Sure. Sure, nope, that's all right.
What Stephanie was talking about, it made me think of something. I'm excited about some positive things happening on sales tax. Along with Coffeeville growing, across the nation, the projections for this next year are going to be even higher on retail sales tax. So I think we'll start to see even more, hopefully, of that happening. But also, I'm sure Mark can say the same thing, we're also seeing a really big increase in inquiries into businesses. So entrepreneurs are back out again, finally, and so a lot of new businesses, probably 6 in the last 3 weeks that I've had called, just interested in maybe starting a business, and at least 3 businesses in town thinking about expanding. So I think that's going to be some good things we're going to see in the rest of this year with sales tax and just growth and just positive things. And then you mentioned shopping local. Tomorrow I'm actually doing a workshop for our businesses on how to market yourself locally and outside the region and finding kind of that local niche. So just, I'm excited about some positive things kind of happening in our region. So just wanted
Very
to
good.
share that.
Thank you,
you.
Candy.
Thank you, Candy, very much. Okay. All right. Is there anybody else have anything? Okay, if not, I will move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is made by Mayor Van Oster, seconded by Commissioner York to adjourn.